Once in a while, I'm going to do segments where I talk about things that I enjoyed or reminiscing back in time. And this one is going to go back 50 years ago. The Ohio Players Fire album. Oh, I remember this album. I used to look at the Ohio Players album covers and the models on there. And of course, just your heartbeat rushing. It's like, whoa. But the music was incredible. They weren't just selling one thing, they actually brought the goods. Now they played into a lot of cliches as far as the names, etc. But these cats could play. They were, when I talk about the versatility of bands, like when I talk about Parliament Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire, Cool and the Gang, they belong in that comp as far as their musicality because you really couldn't lump them. They were funky, but they were blues. They were gospel. They were pop. They had pop sensibility because their songs caught on. I always said the Ohio Players were the black version of what the Rolling Stones were, except they both were coming from the same drain, except the Stones got more notoriety. But Sugarfoot they did everything the Stones did plus better, if you ask me, because they were funkier too. And they could hit the blues licks and hit you with the rock and the pop and the gospel. They were all that and had the country vibe going underneath it all if you listen to their songs. Hit you with some ballads too, break you down. Incredible musicianship. Fire is an anthem. Chef Gordon Ramsay uses it for his shows. It's commercialization 50 years later. That's the mark of a great song. When you hear fire, and for the owl, I'd say Sugarfoot's owl is probably more distinctive than even Sly Stone's or Lionel Richie's or Maurice White's. Everybody had a distinctive owl. And Larry Dotson, the bar case too. See, I'm getting my funk growl here. But Sugarfoot's owl was something else. They just had an aura about them, musicality. This was their sixth album, and they had left Westbound Records when Junie Morrison, who they still say was doing some ghost work on these records, even though the full members are credited, and they were a self-contained band. That's another thing about them. However, they were more polished on Mercury, but they still had the drive. And that song alone, you say fire, that song alone is still the fire. Um, I Want to Be Free was on here. Let me tell you about that song. That was a pro anthem, black anthem. The drums to this day, that's one of the coldest intros ever. The vocals on it, the harmonies on it, that will bring a tear to your eye. You know. Um, Now I can't think offhand because I haven't played the record in a while. There is a song on here, and I know Prince was very influenced by the Ohio Players because there's a song on here where if you listen to the guitar and the drum cadences, "Computer Blue" by when Prince Revolutions for Purple Rain, when Prince used that, he took that riff, that groove that was used on this particular album because he studied them. A lot of people studied the Ohio Players. You couldn't help it. They had a way, and they had a way of connecting. A lot of acts have covered them. Red Hot Chili Peppers to Soundgarden, rest in peace, Chris Cornell. So just telling you, if you haven't checked out the Ohio Players, you should. They could hit you in a variety of ways. But this was the album that broke them to the mainstream. This was their record that got them going. And I wanted to highlight the Fire album. You'll notice it because the model was wearing a red fire hat on her head. I remember I was at my aunt and uncle's house. It was in St. Louis. I was a kid. I was real young, real young. And I remember just seeing that. And I also want to say my father had the 8-track of it too. That's a long time ago, way back in the day. But you remember their covers, but then you remember the music. And the Players are one of the baddest bands. They're in my I have a top 10 funk bands. I might do a segment on that I will cover in time, but that this album was a pinnacle for their rise. But anyway, tell me what you think. And if you're a Ohio Players fan, what is your favorite album by them? What era did you like? What songs did you like? And Leroy Sugarfoot, underrated, underappreciated. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's how you know that thing is a joke. Because the Ohio Players belong in there before a lot of people. It's a shame and a travesty. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Hit that membership because the requests you make, I bring forth to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay real, stay clean, stay honest, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.